Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, I am so very happy to be showing you the Storm Collectibles Ultra Street Fighter 2, the Final Challengers Blanca, which was supervised by Capcom. Thanks. I would hope so. This figure, I have to say, guys, it's really something special. I got to be completely honest right up front. This is a standout piece. There's one issue that I think is a big issue. It's not like a deal breaker issue, but there's at least one issue. But there's a lot of stuff on this figure that makes it easily, by far, one of Storm's best releases, and as of right now, it's definitely going to be a contender for a top spot in the year-end lists. It's really something special. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, now before we do look at the figure, I do want to show you my package. It is a nice Storm package. I love that they do the big windows with the top piece up here so that you get a little bit of light in there. Very displayable, except for this thing that they've been doing lately, which is to cut off the character art. I don't think that looks good at all. Don't do that. Make it a smaller image or something. Cutting off the character art looks incredibly goofy, if you ask me. They did it with Ryu, they did it with this guy, they've done it with other ones recently too. I don't like that. Don't like that at all. That looks super silly. I don't keep my packages, like I don't display them, I keep them, but it doesn't bother me personally, but not a good choice. There's some artwork there that, it's not this version of Blanca, but it's there. A bunch of photos on the back. I like the way they do that. And then you have that other image right there. But the image I want to keep out is this one. So we're just not going to throw this box away yet. We're going to set it right over here for now. We'll talk about it in just a minute. Now, this guy is in stock at Big Bad Toy Store if you want to get one, which I definitely recommend. Not because I'm giving you a link, but because it's that good. I will put a link in the description below. You guys know I wouldn't do that. I never recommend bad figures. To the top of his head, he's about 7 and let's say 5/8, including the hair. It's closer to like 8.5. That's going to make him roughly, let's say 19.5, and then 21.5, give or take. Here he is up against Darwin. We have some size. These are not 1/12 scale at all. This is the standard Storm figures. I can't wait to see what they do with Blanca at the smaller scale, because that line actually looks better than this line in a lot of ways so far. But this figure is, as soon as I opened the package, like looking at it through the window, I was like, I don't know. It looks good, but there's some weirdness. But then as soon as I got it in hand, I was smitten. I was almost immediately smitten. It is a smitting figure. And I'll do a question of the day. Which color scheme do you prefer for Blanca? Now, you can talk about different P1s if you want to, light green, dark green, however you want to do that, or you can talk about P2 or whatever. For me, I am quite partial to the yellow and blue of Street Fighter 2 Turbo. However, if I'm talking about regular Blanca, I think I'm more in line with this color scheme right here than this one. The dark one's nice, but I think I like the light one more, probably because I started on Street Fighter 2. One real quick note, guys, before we continue with the review, I just want to say congratulations to all of you wonderful viewers. We have surpassed 100 million views on the channel. We did that the other day, thanks in part to the Maximum Spider-Man review. Over 5.3 million hours of watch time in total, and over 100 million views on the channel. That's nuts to me. So thanks to you guys for participating. I can't do that without you. So congrats to you guys. Very nice milestone to have hit. Okay, so let's talk about the aesthetic. And the first thing I want to do is, there's all this talk with the Jada figures that the face sculpts look just like the sprites or just like the character select screen or whatever it is. And I think that's funny because you don't typically have to continually point that out if it's true. This actually does. The colors are off a little bit, don't get me wrong there, but the sculpt is very, let me crunch him up so we can get in there. Very accurate. Now, I know it's out of focus. I'm going to bounce back and forth. That's almost, like I don't have it at the exact right pose, but that is almost like the exact same thing. That is pretty spot on. Like, I don't know that you could do too much better than that. That's really good. Alright, so we've got that established. They did a really good job on the portrait for this guy, at least this one. And that's very nice. And I will be reviewing the Jada one as soon as it comes in, and I have to tell you, I can't wait to hear what people tell me that's supposed to look like, because it's going to be interesting. Okay, so let's look at the rest of this guy. I think he has the most shading on him, or at least the best placed shading on him out of all of the Storm figures I've reviewed. I don't know for sure. I don't really remember Sagat's shading. I know he was really good. Balrog had some really good shading, but this guy is just... He is looking nice. The nice matte finish with the green. It's a very uniform green everywhere, and then we have the shading on there that looks really good. It's not like a dark green. It's almost like a gray, really, and it looks really nice. And the hair has coloring in it too, not just the dark orange. We have the light orange on top. It brings it to life. And then we have the shorts, which there is shading, but I think the shorts are by far the weakest part of the figure. Not only the sculpt, because the sculpt is super janky. That shouldn't be like that. You can see it right there. I don't care what kind of pants he's wearing or how muscular his legs are. You don't get a shelf like that right at your waistline. Not even close. His pants should be cut off like that, at least. Like, it should be so much more tapered to get to the waist. So that's super unfortunate in terms of the sculpt. I don't like the way they did the tattered parts, frankly. It's just too uniform and it's too bright white and it just looks weird. And I think the shorts are honestly the wrong color. Like, so you could match the original sprite where they're almost the same as the hair, or they are the same as the hair. I don't like that. Or you could go darker, which they did later in later games. These ones are just kind of in between. I don't love the color, don't love the sculpt, and they take away from the figure is what I'm trying to say, if I can stop stuttering. But otherwise, this guy looks really good. I want to show you his toenails. I guess you could call them claws. He has them on his fingernails too, but they have painted them with a glossy paint, and they made like the cuticle red or pink, whatever. It looks really nice. It really brings him to life. It adds a really nice flourish of detail that you don't normally see. And then the face, like I said, it's super accurate. I think maybe they went a little broad with it, maybe a little too much forehead, a little bit, but like it's really, really accurate, at least at that one angle. But the paints are clean as heck for the teeth and the eyes. It's really well done. I think I would have personally made him just a little bit more angular in the features, but it's still really, really, really well done. This guy looks incredible. I don't know if he looks as good on camera, maybe better, but I'm telling you, in hand, he's one of the best looking figures I've reviewed in a long time in terms of execution, other than the shorts. And the sculpt is just wonderful too. He is appropriately thick and bulky, but not like a brick like a lot of Storm figures are. Like, the sculpt is nice, man, other than those hips. His anatomy is well placed. It's organic looking. Even with the cuts up here, they did a much better job with the cuts. I think they're starting to thicken this part, the main torso, main pec area, and having less of this, which I'm fine with, because most of the time you don't need that cut as much, and it helps the figure look so much better. I know some of the Zangiefs, they're cut like right past the nip, and you don't want that. I mean, I guess you could for certain poses, but generally you want it to look good. And that's the way I think about it anyway. And this one does. Boy, oh boy, does it look good. I'm going to go 9.5 out of 10 for the aesthetic. The shorts screw it up, but they're not that big of a deal compared to the rest of it. And now the thing is, Storm is known for their accessories probably more than anything else, and they did not disappoint. He has 4 total heads, and they all look really, really good. Again, I might like the face sculpt to be a little bit sharp or a little more angular, but it's still a really nice set of face sculpts. The hair, very well done on this guy. It's solid. It's not hollow or anything like that. It's done in layers, and it looks really nice, and there's paint throughout, and it's just, they are really hitting their stride with this line. These are wonderful head sculpts. For hands, we get a bunch of different hands, everything you would need, probably more even, and so that's really good. And then this one, we have to talk about this. This is one of the best effect parts that I have come across for an action figure. Now, I know Blanca doesn't just stand there to do his lightning attack, but I'm going to do that for the purposes of this right now. It's huge, and it's really well done. It has a couple different colors going on, transparent plastic, it wraps around the figure, and it's gigantic. This guy costs $110, something like that. Why is Blanca, who is not exactly the most recognizable, most iconic Street Fighter character, getting this kind of attention for accessories, yet for Bandai, we can't get effect parts with Goku to save our lives? Like, what is going on here? Why is Storm continually making everybody else look bad in the accessory department? Like, I love it for this, but it makes me feel bad for all the other lines. Like, Goku could have something like this easily. Instead, we get these goofy ones that are just standing behind Goku, so they're kind of worthless for anything other than a photo. Like, this is just so much better than things we get normally from basically any other line. Storm almost always delivers on this front. Very well done. I will recommend you heat up the ring with a hairdryer before you start to insert these pieces. It'll make it way easier for you to put it together. Don't heat up the upright pieces because they'll become soft too. Just the ring. But wonderful accessories. I don't think you could get anything else other than a stand to hold him up for a jump or for his ball attack or whatever. So 9.5 out of 10 for these accessories. Wonderful, or like a swooshy slash effect, something like that, I guess, but that's not a real big deal. So yeah, 9.5 out of 10 for accessories. This guy's awesome so far. Now, as far as articulation goes, you're going to want to be careful because he does have a lot of hair, but it is soft, so it's not like it's going to break or anything. This front piece is not as soft. This is a harder PVC connected to the face, which, by the way, it's actually connected to the face. I didn't mention this. The top part of the hair is painted really well. It's all one piece with the face. It's not a separate piece to have like a seam or something. That was a very wise choice. These are potentially more breakable, this first layer. You can see it has slightly different paint job too. But these pieces are soft and they're still painted nicely, but still be careful as you're posing the head. We do have the normal storm head articulation where it's a ball peg that goes up into the head and a ball peg that goes down into the body, and that allows you to lean the neck. And it works maybe better than most on this guy. Like, it's something about this. Maybe they really like Blanca. I don't know. Maybe they're just really coming into their own, but it is really nicely done. And the nice thing is, or one of the nice things, is the way they do their necks. It does take away a little bit of that ball peg range for the top ball peg into the head, but because the way it goes into like just a cylindrical hole in the head, you can raise the head up higher if you want to for certain posing, or you can squash it down in there nice and deep. However you want to do it, you have the option, and this is nice and soft and it's flexing just the way it's supposed to. So love that. Love that. For the shoulders, we have our usual right here. Now the Street Fighter 6 Ryu I just reviewed, the arm kept popping off, so we're going to see if that happens. But this moves around nicely. You can rotate his arm all the way around very nicely, and you can raise it up by itself to just better than horizontal, and then using that ball peg a little bit higher, not much, not popping off. I mean, I'm not going to try. You could definitely pull it if you wanted to, but it's not popping off on its own, so that's okay. That's pretty good range. So far, no joint issues. That's good. No need for lube yet. We'll see. Rotating the bicep is always a problem on Storm because of the way they do their sculpt. It's just so tight. And this isn't a perfect ball, so your tricep is fighting you, but you can do it. Double jointed elbow, pretty good range. I think they're getting better at that. Elbow looks nice, good range there. Obviously we have the ball hinge wrists, that's good. Now for the torso, we have our usual at the top, which this part right here isn't my favorite. I think it would have been nice if they figured some way to make that work better. Don't love that. Especially since, like, I think on one of Blanca's things, he just, like, stretches his whole body out. I'm not sure. I can't remember anymore, but it's not the best looking thing. But he does lean back pretty well at the top. Seamless other than the fur. And then leaning forward. That's about as far as it goes at the top. Still pretty seamless. That's really good. And then going side to side up here. Really nice. That works well. And you will get rotation. Oh, it's really tight. Okay, so that's going to be kind of an annoying thing. So that's really tight, but it does work. Now, this guy has a new torso than all of the other Storm figures I've reviewed. We have the ball peg down here, which lets the whole thing roll around, which is nice. Love that. You get your rotation there, but we also have an ab crunch in here. See, Hasbro? It's fine to have a crunch if you can do this underneath it. It's kind of important. Now, the issue here is I still don't love ab crunches personally. This one's mostly hidden, so that's fine. I guess. I still would prefer just another ball peg in there, I think. But let's see. Let's see. If you hold it, you have to be really careful because it's very small. You have to kind of pinch it pretty tight to get him to use it. And then you can... It's very hard to get into this to make him lean back. But you can get him to lean on it quite far. So I see what they're going for here. And it does technically work the way they've intended. And we can lean him forward on it too. It doesn't work as well going forward. It's quite hard to get in there to actually make him do it. So it doesn't work that well. It works, but I'm still not sure that we're actually accomplishing a whole lot there. So I'm kind of indifferent on that. I don't hate it. It's pretty well hidden. It's not anywhere near as well hidden on the Arena Sagat. So I'm very curious how that's going to work out. But I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's just okay. Now for these big chunky hips, I'm guessing it's going to be a problem. But I think because they tapered their torso well enough, we'll be able to use them. Let's see if we can do splits with this guy. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty close. I still hate the way they did their shorts, but when you bring the legs out, it works because you don't have that shelf there. That's okay, I guess. The crotch is a little dangly, but not too bad. Let's see about other poses. So far, we don't have a loose hip situation either. Oh, he kicks up pretty high. That works well. You don't notice the shelf as much. That's what I figured. Posing is going to hide that for the most part, and it does. He kicks nicely so far. No looseness either. Love that. You can bring the leg back, the butt will fold or stretch depending on what you feel like doing, but you can definitely do it. And then you do get your thigh swivel in here. Ooh, did they do like the best job ever on Blanca other than that shelf? I think they might have. All right, let's see the knees. Ooh, pretty nice, deep bend, decent looking knee. Everything's creamy smooth too. Did Storm make their best release yet? This is a floating piece. It's fairly soft. The ankles, some people were worried about. I was also. They go pretty far back. That's standard. Can they go forward though? That's a Storm issue normally. And they do go better than most Storm figures. That's not bad. And you do get the toe hinge, which is not their strong suit either, but it will do. It's not great. It's too far back for sure and kind of ugly, but it will do. And then you can rotate the ankle for a nice ankle rocker. So, how would I rate this guy's articulation? Well, let's go over it briefly real quick. Head and neck work well. Arms are fine. Torso could be a little bit better, but it's not bad. Hips work surprisingly well and the ugliness goes away. Knees are good. Ankles could be a little bit better. Toes could be a little bit better. He's not perfect, but it's pretty damn good, honestly, and it looks good doing it. I'm going to go 9.5. This one's impressive, guys. It's not like some kind of special release. It's not like a Maximum Storm Collectibles or something like that. It's just another Storm figure at a reasonable price, especially given the amount of plastic, the amount of sculpt, the amount of paint, the accessory. Like, holy crap. Shit, if Bandai was making this, this would be a $25 piece, at least, on its own. This thing's incredible, if you ask me. From like an objective perspective, it's incredibly well done. Subjectively, I like it even more. I'm going to give this guy an overall rating of 9.5 out of 10. This is the one to beat so far. Of the things I've reviewed, this thing is incredible. Incredible. Now, I know some people are going to say, why are you comparing a $110 Storm figure to the Jada figure? I'm not. I'm just saying the Jada figures don't actually match the source material that people keep saying they do. So that's weird. But otherwise, I'm not making any comparison. I was just saying this guy's a nice portrait, and you don't have to like keep making that argument because it does actually look like the portrait. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but I am thrilled with this figure, and I am done talking about it now. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, and if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel, so make sure you come back for all of that, and in the meantime, keep collecting.